Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for the purposes of this assignment is Irish American immigration to the United States in the early part of the 1800s. I will be specifically focusing on the Irish Americans who chose to serve in the United States Armed Forces. I believe this topic is relevant to today because citizenship through service to country still occurs, as a lot of immigrants from different parts of the world, for example, Central America and Asia, immigrate to the United States and serve in our nation's military. So, for the purposes of this assignment, I'll be looking at Irish Americans who served in both the United States Army during the Mexican American War and also some of them who defected. There are a couple key sources for this assignment that I'm using. The first one is Tyler Johnson's work, Devotion to the Adopted Country. He looks at U.S. soldiers, specifically from Irish and German descent, who came to the United States. Now, he integrates social history with military and diplomatic history. So he looks using the diaries, the letters, the official military records, and also preserved Catholic and Democratic newspapers at the time. He examines the thoughts and sentiments of Irish Americans serving in the United States military. So, a couple of things that he points out from the letters and from the diaries is the discrimination that those serving in the United States Army actually face from their superiors. He also points out two heroes. First one is John McElroy and Anthony Ray, two of them who were noted for their service in protecting and also providing care for wounded American soldiers during their campaigns in northern Mexico at the time. Now, the second work I'll be looking at is Robert Miller's work, Shamrock and Sword, which actually intrigued me because I had heard about this unit before, which was known as St. Patrick's Battalion or the San Patricios in Espanol. Now, these were Irish immigrants who served in the United States Army. However, they defected and fought in the Mexican American War on the side of the Mexican Army. So, the reasons they did so mainly was because of the frustration and their anger and the abuse that they felt that they faced at the hands of their superior NCOs and officers. So most of these men had served in an American unit as artillerymen. So they were cannoneers and they're trained in that role, and they fought in multiple battles for the Mexican army. However, they were eventually captured, and a good majority of them were sentenced to death. However, when General Winfield Scott looked at their service records, he realized a lot of them had actually went to the Mexican army before the start of hostilities. So therefore, a lot of them were spared. So about a handful out of the total amount captured were actually executed. The rest, including the ringleader, Lieutenant Riley, they were actually whipped multiple times, upwards of 50, I believe, and they're branded with the hot iron D for deserter on their face. The last two works I look at are actually popular historical works, which I thought were intriguing as well. So one of them is Peter Stevens' work, The Rogue's March, which looks at specifically Sergeant and then promoted to Lieutenant Riley's role in the Mexican American War, serving as the leader of the San Patricios. So that work specifically focuses on him and his role, although it does give sort of a short synopsis of the role that others had in influencing him as well. The last one I looked at is Ron Soldauter's Mexico's Irish Army, which is also a brief popular historical work as well as a journal article. So, once again, I believe these sources are important. I believe this topic of citizenship through service is also very important and a very salient theme through our history of the United States, and it's something that will carry on into subsequent generations. Thank you.